All right, good evening. We have a couple of meetings this evening. We are going to start this meeting off with the notice of public hearing of the Cunningham Township Board for the Urbana, Illinois. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wu.
Here.
Trustee Evans.
Here.
Trustee Hersey. Trustee Colasetti. Here. Trustee Bishop. Trustee Wilkin. Here. Trustee Quisenberry.
Here.
Mayor Williams. Supervisor Chenoweth.
Present.
Assessor Owana. Okay.
All right, this notice of a public hearing is the Cunningham Township of Urbana, Illinois. We'll hold a public hearing at 6:30 on Monday, September 29th, 2025, to receive public input on the revised fiscal year 2024-2025 annual budget and the draft fiscal year 2025-2026 annual budget. This meeting will be held at 400 South Vine Street, Urbana, Illinois. Public input can be held. All interested citizens and organizations are encouraged to attend. And at this point, we will take public input. So if you'd wish to speak to the board, please step up and state your name for the record. So there's actually 3 meetings tonight. So this is the public hearing for the budget. Then we'll have Cunningham Township, then we'll have Township, and then we'll have City Council. This is a public hearing right now, so if you'd like to provide input, please step to the microphone. Thank you.
Hi, my name is, can you hear me?
Yes.
Benita Rollins-Gay. I'm a social worker. I cover all Champaign County, Vermilion counties with Rosecrans. But while I'm here tonight, more than 2 decades after Champaign launched an honorary street name program, I am here to ask Urbana to do the same. I came tonight to ask the City Council to listen to my proposal to adopt an honorary street name program and to name the city's first honorary street after Janice Marie Mitchell. Mm-hmm. My friend Janice I've served over 2,000 children, Champaign-Urbana. I needed beds, they needed housing. I could get her up in the middle of the night. And I feel that I want these kids to have something to look at, something to look for, and someone to honor of color. And Urbana is so far behind. I thought Urbana and Champaign would be on the same pages as far as honorary, set up a committee. I'm not just saying jump and do it. Have a committee formed, sit down and talk, put down your requirements, none of that. And years ago, there were petitions and there were committees. So I'm presenting this only because Janice was a veteran, a member of 4-H and the United States Army Reserve Unit. She was also Champaign County Housing Authority board member and helped pregnant teens attain their diplomas. In the schools, Janice started the Equity and Social Justice Club that's still going on, but they know nothing about Janice's decease. I don't know if you know Janice. She also did the Career and Readiness Program. She was known for her love of nature and unwavering service in the community of Urbana. Janice has worked for various youth-serving organizations, including Cunningham's Children's Home, Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, Regional Office of Education, and Urbana School District 116. Additionally, she has served as a parent volunteer in the local Urbana schools, creating programs to teach underdeserved youth, which we are working with now. I deal with them every day, about their rich heritage. As well, she's provide economic and social emotional enrichment. She founded Prairie Tracks, Brothers and Sisters, Sankofa summer exposure programs for students now. It was Prairie School. It is now Dr. Williams Elementary and Urbana Middle School in 2010. Her dream of opening a youth development facility in East Urbana came a reality. It has been remained open. Having a street sign by her center would help the community to remember her better, kids to understand, and historical, because they're doing a lot in Champaign on Heritage Trail. I'm at all of them. And Urbana is kind of behind on that. And as a social worker, it means a lot to me because I talk to all ages of children and adults coming in the community, and we do not have enough. I was on the school board for 14 years, and believe me, at Urbana, there were changes made. So I'm asking you just tonight to think about it. If so, my name is Benita Rollins Gay. You can reach me at benita.gay70@yahoo.com. That's it.
Thank you for your comment. Clerk, we don't have any, okay. All right, with no further input this evening, this public hearing is closed. We'll move on in just a moment to the Cunningham Township Board. All right, on to the next meeting, the Cunningham Township Board. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Here.
Trustee Evans,
Here.
Trustee Hersey, Trustee Colasetti. Here. Trustee Bishop, Trustee Wilkin. Here. Trustee Quisenberry,
Here.
Mayor Williams, Supervisor Chenoweth,
Present.
Assessor Owana. Thank you.
All right, first item of business is approval of minutes from June 16th, 2025. May I have a motion?
So moved. To approve. Second.
Moved by Gray, seconded by Jaya. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries. The next item is additions to the agenda. I would like to request moving of the order of C, which is the closed session for property pursuant to, to the first item of new business. If there's no objection to that, can I have a motion for that change?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the proposed change?
Yes, I'd like to propose that we move item number C under new business to A and then shift everything down.
Excellent.
Can I have a motion?
Yes, I would move to switch C, closed session, to the first item of new business.
Second.
All right, moved by Gray, seconded by Chris. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? All right, is there any public that wishes to provide input this evening for the Cunningham Township Board? If so, please come up to the microphone and state your name for the record. No email? All right, moving on, committee to verify bills.
Good evening. You'll see, as we discussed last month, that we were bringing July and August forward to the town board this evening for both the town fund and general assistance funds. Let's see, for July, our final count, I gave you a provisional count last month, but our final count for town board was $53,663.90. And expenditures, general assistance fund, again for July, $228,917.99. That brought our total for July to $282,581.89. We also had the town bills report for August. It's $52,904.46. General assistance fund, $244,321. And our total expenditures again for August only is $282,581.89. and $97,925.46. Nicole Filia is our finance director. She is here this evening. Either of us can answer questions about those bills. She's also here to answer questions about the budget when we get to that time. And thank you, Nicole, for joining us this evening. I'm happy to take any questions about the bills.
Questions about the bills? We need a motion to put them on file?
You'll need a motion to approve the bills.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, and this is for 2 months. Do we need to have a separate one for each month, or can they be together?
I guess the motioner should clarify, like, did you intend to lump the approval for both July and August?
Yes.
Okay.
And second. Yep.
All right, discussion. For the clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Colasetti,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkin,
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
All right, that motion passes. The reports of officers.
Okay, I will be brief, as it sounds like you have 3 different meetings this evening. I just want to point out some big picture items. Essentially, there was a series of displacements throughout the 6 months. We've essentially moved everyone who had a housing option into housing at this point. We had our final move out this last month, so that is very exciting. We did see a dip finally in rental assistance, so that was helpful. We've seen a really big increase in utility assistance, and we are discussing how to handle that. LIHEAP will open for limited use in October. Also, just for folks who are listening, even if LIHEAP is not open, you can still, if you're LIHEAP eligible, get a discount on your utility bill. So we have been directing people to do that. And mostly we're doing, we help people get on a payment plan and then direct them to LIHEAP to sign up for that. Anyway, we've been kind of strategizing what to do about that piece. Right now, LIHEAP appears that this next year we'll continue to have funds, but there is some uncertainty for the year after. We've been really focused in street outreach, given that the shelter is full with a very large wait list, and helping people reunify in other locations if possible, and doing a lot of work internally to get ready for expansion. The information that's not on the because not on this supervisor's memo, but just came in on Thursday, is that there's 4 organizations in town who receive emergency and transitional housing from IDHS. The state is releasing $7 million to the state as a whole to increase housing and shelter for the winter months. And so we will be going after that, those funds. We did receive from the Housing Authority close to $400,000. That MOU is approved by the Housing Authority. That has to be spent by the end of the year. That will allow us to expand family shelter by 8 units, additional units, so we'll have 16. It will allow us to take 10 of our workforce development participants and provide housing for them for 10 months while they're also doing workforce development activities. And it will allow us to increase rental assistance for 40 households. I think that's it. I think that's what we got. Those are, I do believe that, we're very frightened about what's going to happen with SNAP. We are increasing our help desk hours so that we can help people at their Bannet-Free library get ready for kind of support in work verification or disability verification for SNAP. We're doing a training of our whole staff on it. We are getting Medicaid cuts don't come till 2027. So it's really the SNAP cuts that we're most concerned about right now. And I sent you a slide deck about changes in HUD and kind of homeless services. I think the most unfortunate part that we're seeing is tying some requirements to the money to make it toxic, basically, make it something that I think doesn't really comply with our community's values. And so just kind of trying to figure out what's going to shake out of that. So I'll be watching it closely and giving you all updates. Right now, there's nothing set in stone. We just see threats on the horizon with that. We do have the highest number of families on our wait list with 20. It's actually 22 now, since there was some delays in us meeting. So there's 22 families on our wait list. So we're really, our goal is to get to 0 by winter, and we're going to work in earnest towards that. We had a really good, productive conversation with the interim executive director of Courage Connection, trying to tighten up our collaboration. So I was very excited to see that. And I think those are most of the high-level issues on deck. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Chris?
Thanks, Danielle. Will the food pantries be able to pick up the slack when SNAP benefits begin to get cut?
Well, the bad news is that SNAP benefits have not been cut yet, and Daily Bread Soup Kitchen is running out of food for the first time. They've gone from serving 150 to over 500 people per day. All of the food pantries we work with are seeing an increase in volume. A lot of that has to do with the cost of food and the cost of housing and bills, and food pantries are kind of like the first thing, because there's not as much, there's no food pantry for electricity. So people go to food pantries to supplement. So yeah, I think we should be prepared. In particular, I would say really looking at food security as an important issue, and then looking at the winter months and the large number of homeless residents who are outside. Those are the two things we worry about most.
Other questions? All right, thank you for the report this evening.
Thank you.
There is no unfinished business. The next item is C on the listed agenda, which we've moved up to A. So I'd ask for a motion for a closed session pursuant to property purchase, which is 5 ILCS 120/2C5.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Grace and seconded by James. Discussion. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Colasetti,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkin,
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We will convene after unknown time. All right, welcome back. I would like to have a motion to come out of closed session.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Grace, seconded by Jaya. Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I need a voice vote. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Colasetti,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkin,
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is ordinance number T 2025-08001, an ordinance approving the annual budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2024-2025 amended. Danielle?
Thank you. I just want to point out the version that we're asking you to move is in front of you in printed format with some adjustments made by our accountant. That was the reason that we're bringing it to you at this point. So I just want to make sure that you have that. That is our actuals for this last fiscal year. And again, Nicole Filia, our finance director, is here, and either of us can ask questions about it.
Would you be able to give a quick summary in terms of the differences?
Do you mean differences between the one that you had approved last year?
Yes.
Yes. So essentially what happened, and may happen again in the year that we're in, is that we pass a budget and then the need is so great that we go out and find additional revenue, and then we spend additional revenue. So there were significant dollar increases. We had a ETH tax write-off from IDHS. We had additional SMAS monies. We had the City of Champaign Township funds reallocated for displaced residents for Champaign Park Apartments. So we had it is almost entirely within the grants arena. We did program expansion and we brought in additional dollars for those. So those are kind of the high level pictures. It was such a big change in the budget that instead of doing line item transfers, we really needed to do a revised budget for last year. And Nicole, I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
If you
Pretty
move it
much
to
sums
yourself.
it up. Except the difference between the first amended budget and this one is just that some of the items were classed incorrectly. So there was about $5,000 moved from the town fund over to the GA fund.
Is there a summary of how much additional money you got in grants this year that was unanticipated?
Yes, hold on. Let's look at. Hold on just one second. So basically, we originally estimated is this correct, cash? Yep. Yeah. Hold on. I'm just pulling up our budget from fiscal year 25. Okay, so for example, estimated cash for general assistance fund. Let's see. Total town fund. So estimated. Okay. Yeah, I think what I could do is actually pull it up from the grants, from our grants piece. Hold on a second. So essentially, we received, we spent more money in ARPA. You know, ARPA is a long frame, so we estimated a certain amount. We spent more primarily on rental assistance in that location. We spent county ARPA dollars primarily for street outreach, and we escalated that expenditures over the winter. We received a new grant from IDHS at $25,000. We were allocated additional home RH monies that were unallocated. They were allocated to us about $38,000. We had additional SMAS money allocated to us. That was primarily for homeless services. We used it for winter shelter. So we ended up using probably about $150,000 for winter shelter. We got the Urbana Sun grant, which we didn't anticipate, which was $18,700. We spent a portion of that. Yeah, so those are some of the grants where we either spent more than we anticipated spending, or we brought in new dollars to fill holes.
So approximately $225,000 in grants.
That sounds right.
Okay. Questions? I'd entertain a motion. Yes, Grace?
I guess, sorry, I do have a question. Are we okay votes-wise? We have 4 votes. Could we have a little background? Or 5, I mean.
Sure. So we conferred with the township attorney ahead of time, which is also part of why these meetings had to be rescheduled in addition to having concerns about quorum at last week. 5 votes of trustees are required for passage of the amended budget and also a regular budget, because this is basically a new budget that is coming before you, unlike a budget amendment, because it exceeded the allowable threshold for an amendment.
Thank you. And I would move approval of ordinance number T 2025-08-001, ordinance approving the annual budget and appropriations ordinance fiscal year 2024 to 2025 as amended.
Second.
Moved by Grace, seconded by Jaya. Discussion. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Colasetti,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkin,
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is ordinance number T 2025-08-002, an ordinance approving the annual budget and appropriations ordinance for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Yeah, so you'll see essentially the process is we give you a draft budget. It's noticed. Folks have access to it through the clerk and through our office and on the website. We have a public meeting, which we just had before this meeting, and then we vote. The vote has to be done by the first quarter of the year. In this case, we're pushing it close, partly because we get most of our grants notifications in July and August, and then, of course, we had a delay in this case. I will say, if we bring in additional ETH dollars, we may need to do some line item budget transfers because of that, since we learned about that opportunity last Thursday. I just want to lay out some of the highlights. We are looking at office relocation and consolidation this fiscal year. That is the largest item in here. We do have $500,000 in Illinois DCEO funds. We also have another $200,000 pledged in DCEO funds. We've been fundraising for this opportunity so that we can expand services. We can maintain the expansion of services that we have and have adequate space to all be together. We are now in multiple spaces. I did estimate that at $2.4 million in acquisition, renovated, and moving costs. I consider that to be the high end. If that is spent, we will still have a nest egg in our savings account that would allow for us to cover expenditures for our kind of bare essential, our operating expenses for 6 months. It also includes roof and foundation updates for 205 West Green Street. We have leaks in both places. We have investment in technology upgrades so that we can have a single case management system that will greatly, basically we're doing double entry right now. It's very costly from a staff perspective. We will save money in the long run on this investment. We are looking at improving our accounting workflow design and to handle the high volume of receipt across multiple grants and programs. We used to have 0 grants, now we have 15. And then our Prius is on its last legs, so we're looking at a used replacement for that will most likely be a hybrid truck. And then we did create a facilities coordinator position by taking many of the different vendors and contractor line items. So those are kind of the administrative side. And then on the program side, we have a near doubling of grant income. We are going to do a citywide mailing about services, which was in last year's budget, but we were not able to do the mailing. Kind of wanted to make sure we had a stable address with that. We are looking at improving the emerging needs in our continuum, especially for families, women, and LGBTQ plus residents experiencing homelessness, while we also provide support for strides, supporting men. We are doing a overhaul of our workforce development program, budgeting for 20 participants for a year-long intensive program that will look a lot like an internship, 20 hours a week, which is also the amount needed to maintain SNAP. So it dovetails well with that, making sure that those workforce development participants also can access food support. We have a grants program to support severe weather sheltering, which we may not need with the ETH funds, just for the record, that was without those dollars. We have a modest increase in utility assistance, growing our hours at our help desk at the Urbana Free Library to 4 days a week, from 2 days a week. And then we continue to invest in professional development to support licensure and certification across our staff. And so I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm very proud of this budget and our team with full-time and part-time individuals, including our digital navigators, not including the assessor. We're 25 humans in our office, which is why we need to move into new space. And you'll see a list of our grants here. So we've actually outlined every grant and the fiscal year 26 expenditures that we're anticipating. We also just end with a thank you to our private donors. We received $86,600 in angel donor funds last year with very little fundraising. I think people have a lot of confidence in us, and 100% of those donated funds support Urbana residents in food, clothing, housing, power, transportation, and other material needs. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Chris?
Could you remind us how many calls for service per month the township is taking in?
Last we checked, we were about 2,000 incoming calls for service. I didn't pull the numbers this last month, but I can do that for a 3-month time frame for our next town board meeting in October.
Other questions? Entertain a motion? Grace?
I move approval of ordinance number T dash 2025-08-002, an ordinance approving the annual budget and appropriations ordinance fiscal year 2025 to 2026.
Second.
All right, moved by Grace and seconded by Jaya. I actually had a question. I forgot about it. Danielle, I was at another board meeting, and they were talking about the increasing cost of health insurance greatly impacting their budget, and I noticed that the health insurance was pretty high here. Is there a estimate in what has been increased this year?
I think we did 10%, which is that what we ended up with, Nicole? Yeah, it's pretty much on par with our peers and with what we've seen annually is a 10% increase. Actually, last year we budgeted for 10%. I think it was closer to 10 to 15.
Yeah, the other place that I'm thinking about budgeted 30% increase in their health care, which was really
this
quite
next year.
shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, partly it's we can't keep on the track that we're on because we've seen such escalating healthcare. So we've introduced some incentives where if folks use a different health care provider, even though they're entitled to health care through us, we do 60% of their premium to them. So we've been able to reduce some costs that way. We also have more part-timers through our help desk program, and we're bringing on additional interns who don't receive health insurance and get PLAWA. So we've been trying to manage those health care costs, and instead of anticipating another large leap, we are looking at whether or not we can, since we're such a large body, whether or not we can basically look at other group health insurance or partner with the agencies. So I know that some groups have been doing that. I don't feel very comfortable with doing a 30% increase at this time. Obviously, if something changes, we'll be coming back to you, but we kept it at 10%.
Okay, thank you. If there's no further discussion, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Colasetti,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkin,
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is resolution number T 2025-09016R, resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a lease agreement with the new Lincoln Square LLC at 110 SF month to month. What is S? Oh, square foot. It's like, what is SF? 110 square feet.
This just very briefly is a 10 by 11 office that allows us to have interns, our social work interns this fall, overseen by our Bridge to Home manager. It is located in Lincoln Square, conveniently between our 2 office buildings.
Questions? Grace? No? Can I have a motion? Jaya?
I'll move approval of resolution number T 2025-09-016R, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a lease agreement with the new Lincoln Square LLC, 110 square foot per month to month.
Second.
Moved by Jaya, seconded by James. Any discussion? Does this need a roll call? All right. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Colasetti,
Yes.
Trustee Wilkin,
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
All right, that motion passes. Last item on the agenda is resolution number T 2025-09017R, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign an MOU with St. Mary's University of Minnesota for Master of Social Work Program.
St. Mary's is a online social work program through the University of Minnesota. It is accredited. We have a intern who is with their partner who's at the U of I doing that online program here in town, and so they are looking at an in-person, which is all we do, an in-person internship through St. Mary's. They require this MOU, and we've looked it over and have no issues with the request.
Questions? Grace?
At a technical one, and then I guess more general, and I'm sorry if I was reading while you just said it, but what kind of things they would be working on, and this would be all remote collaboration?
No, so none of our internships are remote. They're all in person, which I think is an important part of the township experience. This is a person who lives in town but is doing a online program with St. Mary's. And what was your other question? Remote and? I forgot.
No, that was fine. Kind of, what they would be doing, working on.
This, we have interviewed the intern for this position, and they'll be assigned to the Bridge to Home Homeless Services team.
Thank you. And then we're kind of wording question on the resolution that was emailed out this afternoon for this. One of the whereas clauses does say St. Mary's University of Illinois.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I don't know if that's just a habit of typing
No,
University
I've got
of Illinois.
University of Illinois on the brain. It should, when you make a motion, if you could correct that to University of Minnesota, I'll get corrected.
Thank you.
Jaya?
I think that there's also another place where it says University of Illinois, and then now we're, therefore it be resolved, agreement with University of Illinois. So I think just replacing any situation, U of I representatives, just that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Got it.
replacing any reference to University of Illinois with the proper university in this.
Thank you.
Any other questions? May I have a motion? Grace?
I would move resolution number T 2025-09-017R, resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign an MOU with St. Mary's University of Minnesota for Master of Social Work Program, amended with any reference to University of Illinois or UI with University of Minnesota.
Second.
Moved by Grace and seconded by Jaya. Discussion? Nope. All right, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wu?
Yes.
Trustee Evans?
Yes.
Trustee Colasetti?
Yes.
Trustee Wilkin?
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, that motion passes. With no further business before this board, this meeting is adjourned. Give us a few minutes and we will start the next meeting. Thank you very much.